Right, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, to Warren's Team Talk. Thank you very much for joining me today. And what I'm planning to do today with you all is to talk about the weekend Premier League games that happened. Talk to you about what happened, what the scores were, who scored the goals, and all that carry on, like I usually do after the Premier League fixtures have completed. The last one happened last night. So yeah, we're going to start with the very first one and right away through right to the end. So hopefully that'll be entertaining. I hope you're all well and having a great day. And without further ado, about me waffling on and talking nonsense, let's get on with it. Don't forget, everyone, I've got my petition sitting there to tell Arsenal we don't want Mikel Arteta appointed as Arsenal or given an extension as Arsenal manager to his contract. So the link for that is in the description. So please go and check that out if you feel the same as me and feel that we shouldn't be offering him a new contract. That'd be fantastic. Just click on the link. It's completely free. It will take you to the change.org website and you can put your name in and whatnot and you'll be added to the list. So that'd be fantastic. So anyway, enough about that. Let's move on. We've got some chats here. Let me just see what these chats are. So we've got Joanne Smith. She says, hello, Warren, my lovelies. Hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm not too bad today. Thank you, Joanne. I hope you're okay. Joanne says, I lost all track of football. Yeah, I know the feeling, mate. I know the feeling very well. Liked and shared. Thank you, Joanne. Jez is in the chat. Afternoon, Warren and Joe. Hi, Jez. Nice to see you, mate. I hope you're okay. Hope you're having a good day. I just want to say thank you so much for what you did in that Lee Gunners show, the Real Talk podcast, when you were talking about how that guy was brutally murdered. It's still really upsetting me. I remember it happening and years ago, but I never knew what the guy's name was or anything about it. And I just remember it happening and never really got to hear about what had happened or how it happened. I just knew that some guy had been stabbed and that he died, and that was it. That's all I knew. So to hear that last night was really upsetting. And I watched it last night, and I looked it up on the internet afterwards and saw some images from that game, and it just looked absolutely horrific. God knows what it must have been like to be there. But yeah, anyway, so Joanne says, hello, Jez. And Joanne Smith says, I've been digging a hole in the garden. It's not as big as a hole as an arse. Sorry. Yeah, fair play to you, Joanne. I hope you've enjoyed that. And I hope that you're okay. Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear about what happened with your cat. I hope you're coping all right with that. I'm sure it must be absolutely traumatic for you. So, yeah, look after yourself and be kind to yourself, and may he rest in peace, poor little fella. Anyway, I've got some great YouTube channels here I want to big up. There's Arsenal Alex's channel. He brings you all things Arsenal, including instant match reaction. The Aussie Gooner, he discusses all things Arsenal from an Aussie perspective. Diesel Arsenal, he talks about all things Arsenal and a variety of other topics. And later tonight at 7 o'clock, everyone, I'll be going on his channel to talk about ghosts. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, come and check that out because I think it's going to be quite an interesting one. Then we've got Del Boy Gunner. He's a passionate Irish Arsenal fan, and he discusses all things Arsenal. I think he might be going to the game at the weekend against Leeds at the Emirates, so that would be interesting. I'm sure he'll do some vlogs like for the last game he went to. So yeah, he's got a really, really cool channel. I really like his work. Arsenal, the history and more, and that's Jez's channel. Jez is in the chat. Please make sure you go and subscribe to Jez's channel. It's absolutely superb. And I think, is it tomorrow, Jez, that you've got your chat with Kenny Ken and Gracie-Mae on your channel? I think it is. I saw the thing come up. It come up earlier on my timeline thing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And then there's Gracie-Mae. She's a passionate young Arsenal fan. She's really smart, really switched on, and really knows the stuff about Arsenal. So please go and check her stuff out because she speaks really well about the club. And she's mad, passionate Arsenal fan. So please go and show her some love and support. And she's been on my channel recently talking about her life as an Arsenal fan so far. It was an absolutely fascinating conversation as far as I'm concerned. And I know that she enjoyed it. So, yeah, that's worth having a look at as well. NorthsideLdn is another real passionate Arsenal fan, great guy, and he holds the club to the highest of standards, which is what I want to see. And then SFeatleyTV, he's a great Arsenal fan, and he does great football content and Formula One content, and he uses his channel to raise awareness and money for the Children's Liver Disease Foundation. So that's absolutely fantastic. So please, please, please go and check him out and show him some love, because every single penny that he makes for his YouTube activities goes towards helping that charity. So please, please, please go and check him out. And then there's Carl Walsh, Arsenal. He's straight talking Arsenal fan with no filters. And it's with him, it's real talk only. And he's an absolutely top lad. He was on my channel on Sunday, and we were sort of going through all the remaining fixtures for the 4 clubs in contention for the hotly disputed 4th place trophy, and giving our thoughts about it. And we made a prediction about what we thought would happen. So, yeah, that was really, really enjoyable. I really enjoyed having him chatting to me and having him on the channel. It was great fun. So yeah, go and check that out as well. And he tells me that his channel is going to be up and running soon, imminently. So please, please, please keep your eyes open for that, and he'll be broadcasting soon. So that'd be great. That'd be another really great channel to go and watch. So yeah, there's some great YouTube channels for you. Well, in my opinion, they're great anyway. So yeah. Right, so let's get back into these chats before we get started. And Joanne says, hello, Jez. And Joanne says, oh, yeah, we had that one. And I've been for a walk today to do some videos for my friend Becca, who is in Oz, who's dying of cancer. Oh, no, God bless her. Well, I hope that helps for her, and I hope that... you know, it can help her to get through this, what she's going through, because that must be absolutely horrific. Bless her. And Jez says, yes, Warren, it is, mate. Okay, well, that's great. Yeah, please don't forget, everyone, go and check that out, because that is going to be amazing. That chat with Jez and the 2 legends that are Gracie-Mae and Kenny Ken. Please, please go and check it out. Warren, Jez, Joanne, good afternoon, says Craig. Hi, Craig. I hope you're well, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Carl Wolf says, big up, Warren, top man. Looking forward to this. Big up, Jez. Nice to see you, Carl. I hope you're going all right. Is it today, Carl, that the fella's coming out to look at your setup for your YouTube stuff? I hope that gets sorted out for you today, mate. Jess says hi, Craig, and hi, Carl, and Carl Walsh says hi, Jez. I hope you're well, mate. Yeah, well, I hope that you're all well and having a great day, and let's get on with it. So, before the weekend fixtures kicked off, this was the Premier League table. We had Man City sitting top. Liverpool was second. There were nip and tuck between the two of them. There was only a point difference between Manchester City and Liverpool. So, yeah, it was really tight. Oh, yeah, just one thing. Jez, what time is your show kicking off today? Is it 4:30 or is it 6:30? If you throw it in the chat, I'll give it a shout out for you, mate. Yeah, because we need to make sure get as many people get to watch that as possible, because it's your videos, mate, are just on a different level. And I haven't forgot what I said to you about doing a video call with you to help you sort out about how to use PowerPoint and stuff like that. Just let me know when you want to do it, and I'll be happy to do it. And Jess says 6:30, mate. Okay, yeah. Everyone, 6:30. Please put in some reminder somewhere to remind yourself to go and watch Jess's stream tonight at 6:30. It's going to be absolutely great. It really is. So please go and check it out. All right. Because it's going to be amazing. I'm sure it is. So yeah, so back to this Premier League table. This was the Premier League table before the weekend fixtures kicked off. Like I say, Manchester City was at top, Liverpool was second, Chelsea was at third. They played a game less than Arsenal, who have sat fourth when they're 5 points clear. Then Arsenal played the same amount of games as Tottenham, but they were 2 points clear of them. United was at sixth, and they had played the same one game more than Arsenal and Spurs, but they had 4 points less. And then West Ham were in seventh, and then it was Wolves, Newcastle, Leicester, and Brighton. Now, the bottom five saw Leeds with 34 points, Burnley with 31, Everton were in the bottom three, they played 32 games with 29 points. Watford were 19th, having played 33 games with 22 points. And Norwich was at bottom with 33 points, played 33 games with 21 points. So, now, the fixtures, okay, for this weekend. The 12:30 kickoff on Saturday was the first game of the match day weekend, and it's on Newcastle take on Liverpool. And then we had 4 3 o'clock kickoffs, which were Aston Villa against Norwich, Southampton against Crystal Palace, Watford against Burnley, and Wolves against Brighton. And then there was a 5:30 kickoff on Saturday, which saw Leeds take on Manchester City. And then on Sunday, we had 2 o'clock kickoffs, which were Everton against Chelsea, Tottenham against Leicester. And then 4:30 on Sunday saw West Ham United take on Arsenal. And then finally, last night at 8 o'clock, Manchester United took on Brentford. So that was the weekend's fixtures for this current match day weekend. And the results were as follows. So in the first game, Newcastle entertained Liverpool at St James's Park, and Liverpool won by 1-0 with Naby Keita grabbing the winner in the 19th minute. And before the game started, or before the match day started, Newcastle was sat in 9th and Liverpool was sat 2nd. And then at the end of the weekend, as a consequence of this game and the other games that had taken place, Newcastle slipped down to 10th, and Liverpool stayed in 2nd. Now, the match stats for this game, Newcastle had 4 shots, 2 of them were on target. They had 33% possession. They made 274 passes and had a 64% pass accuracy. And then Liverpool had 24 shots, 10 were on target. They had 67% possession. They made 528 passes and they had an 83% pass accuracy. So there you go. It tells the sad story, really, I guess. But since I've been doing this, I've noticed that there doesn't seem to be too much correlation between what the stats say and what the results of the games are. So, I don't know, take it or leave it, I guess. But there you go. The next game, Aston Villa against Norwich. Aston Villa won this game by 2-0, thanks to goals by Ollie Watkins in the 41st minute and then Ings in the 90th, 3rd minute of added on time at the end of the game, which gave Villa a 2-0 victory. And this 2-0 victory meant that Norwich sadly were relegated out of the Premier League. And when I spoke to my mate about it, the Norwich fan, he said to me, look, Warren, he said, to be honest with you, I'm just happy that it's finally over and done with and that we've, confirmed one way or the other what's going to happen. He said, because this has been on the cards for a long time. He said there's just been all sorts of different reasons as to why it's happened. But, so I'm just glad it's all over and done with and we can focus on getting ready for next season now. And I think that's in my opinion, I think it's a very sensible attitude, to be quite frank. But there you go. So the match stats for this game, Villa had 21 shots, Norwich had 9. 6 of Villa's shots were on target, and Norwich had 3 shots on target. Villa had 45% possession, Norwich had 55. Villa made 398 passes, and Norwich had 491. Villa's pass accuracy was 79% and Norwich's was 81%. Before the start of the weekend, Villa was sat in 15th, and as a consequence of their win over Norwich, they moved to 13th. Norwich was sat bottom of the table at the start of the weekend, and that's where they stayed. And sadly, like I say, they were relegated after this game, or their relegation was confirmed. So next season, they'll be plying their trade in the Championship, as they say. So, next game up is Southampton against Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace won this game by 2-1 against Southampton. And thanks to goals from Eze in the 60th minute and Zaha in the 2nd minute of added on time at the end of the game. And Southampton's goal came from Romu in the 9th minute. So Southampton took an early lead, but then Palace struck back and took all 3 points. And match stats for this one, Southampton had 8 shots, 3 of which were on target. They had 38% possession, made 326 passes, and had 67% pass accuracy. Palace had 14 shots. They had 5 on target. They had 62% possession, made 529 passes, and had a pass accuracy of 82%. Now, Palace at the start of the weekend was sat in 14th and they went up to 12th. And Southampton at the start of the weekend were in 13th and they moved up to 15th. So there's now they're directly above and below each other in the table. So that's going to get quite interesting, I'm sure. So we've got a chat here as well from Craig. And Craig says, Warren, is it tonight you're on Diesel's channel talking about ghosts? Yes, mate, I am. It's at 7 o'clock. So if you want to come and join me on there, that would be lovely. But make sure you check out Jess's channel before you come onto Diesel's channel to listen to me. Because Jez is having a chat with Kenny Ken and with Gracie-Mae. So that will be absolutely fantastic. So please make sure that you check both of those out, because I think you'll be missing something if you don't. Basically, and Joanne says, I'm going to send you a pic of 2 ghosts. Okay, 2 pic or 2 of ghosts. Excellent. Thank you, Joanne. That would be fantastic. I'll see if I can get them in to the show for tonight. If you could do that, that would be fantastic. And then next game up was Watford against Burnley. Watford took on Burnley at Vicarage Road, and Watford won this game by 2-1. Watford took the lead through an own goal from Tarkowski in the 8th minute, and then late on in the game, Burnley struck with 2 goals, one from Cork in the 83rd minute, and then one from Brownhill in the 86th minute. And these were the 2 goals that condemned Norwich to relegation. So, yeah, there you go. And so the match stats for this one, before the weekend started, Watford was sat in 19th, and that's where they stayed after this game. And then before the weekend, Burnley were in 17th, and they've now moved up to 16th on the back of this victory. So that's great for them. Makes it their Premier League status even more stable. It's not secure yet, not by any stretch of the imagination, but it's making it a lot stronger than it was, that's for sure. Other match stats for this game were that Watford had 13 shots, one of which was on target. They had 46% possession, made 334 passes, and had a pass accuracy of 63%. Now, Burnley, on the other hand, had 17 shots, 6 were on target. They had 54% possession, made 396 passes, and had a pass accuracy of 67%. So that was the Burnley and Watford game. So big match down at the bottom end of the table, and Burnley came away with all 3 points, making their Premier League survival even more of a certainty. So fair play to them. Then we had a big game as well in the Midlands, in the Black Country. It was Wolves against Brighton. Brighton ran out by winners by 3-0. Their goals came from McAllister from a penalty spot in the 42nd minute. Then Trossard added a second in the 70th minute. And then Basuma added the third in the 86th minute. So it ended up being Wolves 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 3. And I hate it when these two play, because it's always really difficult to get all their names on the screen, because their names are so long. It's an absolute nightmare. But yeah, I managed to do it, so big up to me, I guess. But yeah, so that was difficult. But there you go. But a big shock really, because I wasn't expecting I thought this would be a 0-0 draw, because neither of these teams are particularly high scoring, and Wolves have been quite solid at the back, and I was really shocked to see that Brighton won this game so convincingly, even though they've had some good results of late. So yeah, very interesting. The match stats for this one, before the weekend started, Wolves were sat in 8th, and at the end of the weekend they stayed in 8th. Brighton, on the other hand, as a consequence of this result, they moved up from 11th to 9th in the Premier League table. And then during the game, Wolves had 11 shots, one of which was on target. They had 49% possession, made 458 passes, and they had an 82% pass accuracy. Brighton had 17 shots, 9 of which were on target. They had 51% possession, and they made 479 passes and had a pass accuracy of 82%. So that was the Wolves and Brighton game. Now there's a few more. There's another chat here. And this one is from Craig Malloy. Warren, Jez with Kenny, Ken and Gracie is tomorrow, it says. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Go and check that out tomorrow. Don't forget to do that. It's tomorrow. It's not tonight. Just shows you that how messed up I am at the moment, I guess. So, yeah, please make sure you go and pay Jez's channel a visit tomorrow, not today, as I said, tomorrow for his chat with Kenny Ken and Gracie-Mae. I'm sure that's going to be great. I'll be watching for sure. It's one of my favourite channels on YouTube, and I absolutely love it. And Jez, if I can help you get any information about what you're doing for your channel or anything else I can do to help you with it, mate, all you got to do is help. We're more than happy to help you. You're a top man, and anyone who's promoting Arsenal Football Club and trying to get us back to where we were, or painting the history of, or letting everyone know about the history of the club, I'm more than happy to help. So just let me know, man. Anyway, Taib's come in with a chat. Big up Warren, Craig and Joanne. Thank you, Taib. Nice to see you, mate. And hi, Carl. Hi, Jez, he says. And Craig says, Taib, big up, says Craig Malloy. Nice to see that you're getting on. I really like that. It's really important to me. Warren, thanks, mate. I will take you up on that. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, bro. I'll do anything I can to help you. You know that. So yeah, just all you got to do is just tell me, and I'll be happy to help. And Jez says hi to Taib as well. So yeah, like I say, I love it when you guys chat amongst yourselves. It really makes me feel happy that we're able to do that. Now, next game, Leeds against Manchester City. I was a bit shocked with this one as well as the one before between Wolves and Brighton. I thought City would win, but I didn't think they'd win this convincingly, because Leeds' form has picked up of late. And, Man City ended up winning this game by 4-0. They took the lead in the 13th minute by the goal coming from Rodri in the 13th minute. Ake added a second in the 54th minute. And then Jesus scored in the 78th minute. And then Fernandinho added a fourth in the 3rd minute of added on time. So, comfortable 4-0 victory for Manchester City. And just a quick question, guys. What do you all think about this Jesus? And do you think he'd be a good fit for Arsenal if he was to come to Arsenal? Personally, I don't think he'd want to come myself. But not with the manager we got. I mean, everything else, I'm sure he'd be absolutely delighted to come if you sat down and spoke to him about it. But it's the problem for me is the manager. He ain't got a bloody clue, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, that's a discussion for another stream, I guess. But just interested to hear what you think about the possibility of that young fella coming to play for the Arsenal. Anyway, so the match stats for this game. Leeds started the weekend in 16th, and at the end of the weekend they slipped to 17th. And Man City, before the weekend started, were sat in first, and that's where they stayed. So it's getting really tight for this title battle between them and Liverpool. It'd be really interesting to see how that plays out for the rest of the season over the next, 4 games? I think they've both got left. Anyway, the match stats for this game. Leeds had 7 shots, 2 of which were on target. They had 40% possession. They had 421 passes, and they had 78% pass accuracy, and they had 19 shots. Sorry, Manchester City had 19 shots, 6 were on target. They had 60% possession. They made 617 passes and had a pass accuracy of 88% possession. The pass accuracy of 88%. Sorry. So that was the Leeds Man City game. The next game was Everton and Chelsea, and there's a few comments in the chat. I just want to read out before we move on with that. And Ty says, Warren, your happiness is all that matters, despite my pathetic jokes. Laugh out loud. Well, mate, thank you for that, but I hope I'm not selfish enough to think like that, to be quite honest, because I want to make sure that people enjoy what I'm doing and it gives them some pleasure and enjoyment. That's the most important thing for me. And yeah, I'm very happy doing this, and I love doing it. So thank you. Jesus ain't coming to Arsenal, Warren. He has better options out there. Probably, yeah, he has, but I don't think it helps because of the manager we got, and I just don't think he's got an idea about how to set up an attack. I just don't. The problem, I think, if you look at all the forward players at our club, I think they struggle with these tactics, and I think it's because he's got very negative mindset in terms of his tactics, and I don't like it. I don't. I'm sorry, but I do not like it, and I think he will struggle to get. I think forward-thinking attacking players will struggle in his teams. I really, really think that, and I don't know whether he's so terrified about the defence and the midfield not being strong enough. I don't know what it is, but I just don't have confidence in his ability to get Arsenal playing on the front foot. I don't. I'm sorry, but I don't. Jess says, can't see it happening myself, but you never know. Well, that's true enough, but the thing that worries me about it is that if I was a forward player, right, and I was a top player, like playing in the Premier League, right, and I had no affiliation with Arsenal Football Club, I wasn't a supporter or anything else, I would be looking at, right, so how many chances are they going to create for me? What sort of, is their style of football going to suit my game? Am I going to thrive there? Am I going to have the ability or opportunity to develop my career and develop my skills as a football player? And I think all those questions that if he was to ask them, I'm sorry to say it, I think we'll come back with a negative answer. I really do. I don't know if that's me being negative. I don't, but I just don't see what any top-class forward player is going to, why any top-class forward player would want to come here and work under him. I just don't see it, to be honest. Taib says, Arteta is just not built for management or coaching. It's not just because he's not ready. The fact is that he's not good enough. You're probably right, mate, but I'd like to see what he would be like not because I want him to stay, but I'd like to see what he would be like as a coach. Like if he was like his sole job was to coach the players and not manage the team and set up the tactics and that, but just like coaching and developing players. Because I just don't think he's got it in him. He hasn't gone and learnt his trade properly. And I think one of the biggest problems with him is that he thinks he's got nothing to learn. He's so arrogant that he thinks he knows it all. And that's a very dangerous trait to have in any profession if you want to develop as a person, because people try and teach you and help you develop. The last thing you need to have is an arrogant attitude where you think you know it all. It's just not conducive to learning, and I don't think he thinks he's got anything to learn. Narcissistic Arteta. Well, you could say that, yes. And Kyle says, big up, Taib. Absolutely, Carl. Right, so let's look at this Everton-Chelsea game, because this was another one was a major shock to me. I didn't see this coming at all. Oh, where's that gone? Lost all the chats. Oh, they're back. That was really weird. I don't know what happened there. I lost half the chats. Well, there you go. Tave says hi, Carl. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It's something crazy happened, and I lost all the chats. Anyway, Everton against Chelsea at Goodison Park, and Everton got an extremely important victory by 1-0 thanks to Richarlison. He scored in the 46th minute. Apparently, I haven't seen the game, but I've heard that it was a bit of a battling performance from Everton, and Chelsea looked like they weren't interested. I saw Tony Rolfe going on about he thought that they were on the beach, or someone said that. I don't know if it was Tony, but someone said that they looked like they were on the beach. So whether that's what they're thinking, I don't know. But they've had a few poor performances of late, that's for sure. So yeah, Everton won this game by 1-0. That gave their survival hopes a huge boost. So before the game started, Everton was sat 18th, and that's where they stayed after this victory. Chelsea were third, and they stayed in third. And Everton had 9 shots. 4 of them were on target. They had 21% possession. They had 197 passes, and they had a 58% pass accuracy, and they had 17 shots, 5 of which were on target, and they had 79% possession, and they made 720 passes, did Chelsea, and they had a pass accuracy of 88%. So, yeah, a good victory for Everton, and a much needed victory for them. So, there you go. But they still got a long, long way to go, and it's going to be really hard for them to get out of this mess. If they do, it'll be an absolutely fantastic achievement. And I have to say, I really don't want Everton to go down. I like the club, and it'll be really weird not to have them in the Premier League. It really will. Next game up is Tottenham against Leicester. Tottenham won this game by 3-1. It took them into 4th place for a short time until the Arsenal match. They had goals from Kane in the 22nd minute, and Song added a further 2 in the 60th and 79th minute. And then Iheanacho pulled one back for Leicester in the 1st minute of added on time at the end of the game. So yeah, Tottenham won by 3-1, and like I said, it took them up to 4th place for until Sunday when Arsenal took on West Ham. So the match stats for this game. Before the game started, Tottenham were sat in 5th, and then at the end of the weekend, they stayed in 5th. Leicester, before the match day started, they were sat in 10th, and as a consequence of this defeat, they moved down to 11th. Tottenham had 13 shots, 7 of which were on target. They had 39% possession, and they made 404 passes and had 80% pass accuracy. And then Leicester had 6 shots, 2 of which were on target. They had 61% possession, and they made 627 passes and had a pass accuracy of 86%. So, yeah, a good win for Tottenham, I guess. Not that I really like saying that, but still, there you go. But yeah, it's just really weird to see what's going on with Leicester. It just don't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. I just don't understand what the hell's happened there. I really don't. So yeah, that was the Tottenham Leicester game. I mean, I was fully expecting this season that Leicester would be challenging for a Champions League spot, and they're struggling to get in the top half. I just don't understand it. We'll talk about the West Ham Arsenal game in a second, but before we do that, Taib says hi back to Carl, and Taib says, Carl, your meltdowns are hilarious, laugh out loud. It's just voicing how he feels, and I absolutely love it, mate. I 100% agree with you, Taib. It's wild. And, you know, I like the fact that he comes on and he says his piece, and he just says how he speaks how he feels, and I think it's great. And Joanne said, I would thank Jesus Christ myself for his name's sake at Arsenal better than the crap we got. Yeah, probably. And then Static says, hey, Warren. Hi, Static. I hope you're well. Nice to see you, mate. Thanks for coming in. We had a bit of drama just now with the chat. I lost a load of chats. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was a bit crazy, to be honest. But there you go. So let's talk about this West Ham Arsenal game. So on Sunday, West Ham took on Arsenal at the London Stadium, and earlier in the season, I was looking at this game and I was really worried about it because I thought we were going to struggle to get anything out of it, because West Ham looked they were a really serious outfit and that they were going to be pushing hard for a Champions League spot. But now looks like the wheels have properly come off again, and this happened last season and it happened the season before. And I just think that they've run out of steam, and it's probably because their squad's not big enough to fight on all the fronts that they need to fight on. Because look, they've got the Europa League, they've got FA Cup, they've got the League Cup, and they've got the league. So it's difficult when you've got that many competitions that you need to be involved in. And we went the FA Cup, we got knocked out in the 3rd round. The League Cup, we went fairly far into the tournament. Yeah, we got to the semi-final before being knocked out, but we didn't have any European competition. So, you know, we've been able to get away with having just about got away with having a wafer-thin squad. But it does concern me, the size of our squad. It really does. I just think we need a serious investment of players into that team, because if we get European football next season, we can't go into the season with a squad of 16 or 17 players like we've got at the moment and expect to go through the season and be able to field a proper team every time we play. It's just not going to happen. So I think we need, personally, I reckon we need anything between about 7 and 14 players for that squad, to have a proper squad. And some of them, I think, need to be moved on as well. So there needs to be a serious amount of business done this summer at Arsenal. But there's lots of other clubs that need a serious amount of business done as well. So I don't know how we're going to get on. But anyway, that's a different story. Let's talk about the game. So Arsenal took the lead in the 38th minute thanks to a goal from Rob Holding, and apparently it's his first ever Premier League goal for Arsenal. I find that a bit weird. The fact that he's never scored a Premier League goal before for Arsenal, I find that a bit odd. Whether that's true or not, I'm not 100% sure. But he seemed to think he hadn't, so probably it is. But I just find that a bit odd. Gabriel scored in the 54th minute to put Arsenal back in front after Jared Bowen had scored in the 45th minute to equalise things for West Ham. So a good win for Arsenal, really. The victory took them back up to 4th. So Arsenal are sitting in pole position at the moment for a qualified spot for the Champions League. And I have to be honest, I'm not really that bothered whether Arsenal get into the Champions League or not, because I just don't really understand what it's going to do for the club. I really don't. I mean, we proved that we can get top players whilst not being in the Champions League, because of the name of the stature of the club. But the problem we've got is our manager. He's starting to get a really bad reputation. And that's what I think is going to be a stumbling block for us getting players to come to the club. I think you're going to find it hard because players will not want to come here and work under him. That's what I think, because they would have heard about his reputation and the way he behaves. It's just, who's going to want to have their career ruined by that clown? And it doesn't even know what he's doing half the time. So, well, all the time, not part of the time or some of the time. In my opinion, it's all the time. So Rafael Burton says, "Hi, Joanne." And Joanne says, "We've been holding out for a hero at Arsenal." We certainly have. And nobody wants to play for Arteta. I think that's true, Joanne. I don't think they do. Because his reputation goes before him. And football is a small world. And when players are looking to come here, they're going to be talking to each other and saying, "Yeah, I've got the opportunity of going to Arsenal. Well, what do you think? Do you think I should go? And, would you think it'd fit in with me? And would it be a good place to go and play?" And if they have that conversation with Aubameyang or with Lacazette or Ozil or anyone else, what do you think they're going to tell him? Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be a glowing report, is it? And the amount of players that he's fallen out with, it's absolutely shocking. So, he's any player that's considering going here, I think they're going to have serious doubts about whether they want to come. I know you might think I'm being negative, but I'm just telling you what I think. So the match stats for this game, before the match day started, West Ham was sat in 7th, and that's where they stayed after this defeat. Arsenal were in 4th, and that's where they stayed. West Ham had 8 shots. They had 3 on target. They had 57% possession and made 586 passes, and West Ham had an 85% pass accuracy. Arsenal, on the other hand, had 13 shots, 7 of which were on target. They had 43% possession. They made 454 passes and had a pass accuracy of 83%. The next game of the weekend saw Manchester United take on Brentford, and this was a game that was played last night. Manchester United won this game by 3-0 thanks to goals from Fernandes, Ronaldo from the penalty spot in the 61st minute, and then last but not least, Varane finished off the goal scoring with a goal in the 72nd minute. So Manchester United 3, Brentford 0. And I believe that this was Ralph Rangnick's last game at Old Trafford in charge before he hands over the reins to the new guy at the end of the season. So he'd be happy that he signed it off with a good 3-0 victory. The match stats for this game, before the weekend started, United were sat in 6th and they stayed in 6th. And as a consequence of this game, Brentford moved down from 12th to 14th. Manchester United had 9 shots and 5 of which were on target. They had 65% possession. They made 714 passes and had a pass accuracy of 91%. And Brentford had 12 shots, 4 of which were on target. They had 35% possession. They made 376 passes and had a pass accuracy of 82%. So that was the Manchester United-Brentford game, and that was all the games in the Premier League for this match day. So we've got some more chats here. And D. Arsenal says, "Hi Warren, I told you to be optimistic for a win against the Hammers." Right, okay. Easy win against Leeds and Spurs and Liverpool to beat them. We're going to be back in the UCL. Well, I wouldn't say that, mate. I don't think it's going to be cut and dried after the Spurs game. After Spurs play Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool are likely to beat them, but it won't be cut and dried just because of Liverpool losing the Spurs and us beating Leeds. We've also, don't forget, got to play Newcastle, whose form of late has been absolutely fantastic until they come up against Liverpool. That game against Newcastle away isn't going to be a walk in the park, mate. Let me tell you. Craig says, Warren, Arsenal won't even get out of the group stages in the Champions League. Now, I agree with you, mate, and that's even if they make it to the Champions League. I'm still not convinced that they will. I think we're going to be in the Europa League because I think we'll slip up against Newcastle, and I think Spurs will beat us at the Lane. I really do. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but I think that's what's going to happen. And Jez says that is the point I've been saying for ages. Even if we get into the Champions League, will Arteta, being the arrogant prick he is, attract the top players with his track record? No, I don't think he will, Jez. I think you're absolutely spot on, because players will look at it, and if they're thinking about coming to Arsenal, they're going to be talking about players who've been here or are here, and talk to them about their experiences of playing here, and they're going to ask them all the things I mentioned about whether they're going to learn and develop as a player, whether they're going to have the opportunity to shine, whether they're going to be able to, if they're a forward player, have the opportunity to boost their numbers, i.e. scoring goal, creating assists, things like that. And I think all the answers to those questions are going to be in the negative. I just do not see how any player who has been at this club will answer those questions in a positive way when they talk to, when they get spoken to about Arteta, because I just don't think he knows what he's doing. He doesn't know how to get Arsenal playing on the front foot. He doesn't. And I think a lot of our victories of late, we've been very lucky. We've shown ourselves to be very weak defensively, and we've scraped through against teams. So, yeah, if we do get into the Champions League, I think we'll get absolutely destroyed. I really do. And the problem is he doesn't learn from his mistakes because he's too arrogant. We need to be back in the UCL before we can be talking about winning Premier Leagues. So this is a step in the right direction. Right. So why is it a step in the right direction to be in the Champions League and get absolutely smashed every time we play in it? I don't understand that. I don't think it really matters one way or the other whether we're in the Champions League or not. There's no rule that says you can't win the Premier League title if you're not in the Champions League. It just doesn't make any sense to me. The summer transfer window will be a spicy one. It certainly will. It certainly will be a spicy one. That's one way of putting it, because I think we're going to struggle to get players to sign for us, because I just don't trust this manager to be able to do it, because players will not trust him. They won't want to come here. You need to remember that football is a small world and players talk to each other. And I believe any player that has been through this club who has experience or has had years of playing at top level football isn't going to speak about him in a positive light. I can't think of one experienced player that we've had in our club who has benefited from being coached by him. I can't think of one. He's had trouble with all of them. All of them. And it's an embarrassment. Joanne Smith says, not long until we play the Lasagna Lads. The Lasagna Lads. Joanne, I don't know what you mean. Who are the Lasagna Lads? Enlighten me. Okay, so let's look at the Premier League after the end of the match day. So at the end of the match day, this was the Premier League. The top four was as it was at the start. Tottenham was sat in 5th. Manchester United was 6th. West Ham was 7th. Wolves were sat in 8th. Brighton were 9th, and Newcastle were 10th. When you consider where they were when Eddie Howe went into that club, it's unbelievable. It really is. And they lost that game against Liverpool at the weekend. Yes, they did. But their form, apart from that, has been absolutely superb. And anyone who thinks that game at St James's Park is going to be a walk in the park, I think you've got a nasty shock coming to you, because that crowd, when they get going at St James's Park, mate, they're relentless. They really are. I've been there and witnessed it with my own eyes. And they are absolutely wild. They really are. And that will be a real tough game. If Arsenal come out of that, even with a point, they would have done well, definitely. Then in 11th, we got Leicester. Then it's Crystal Palace. Then Villa, Brentford, and Southampton. And then the bottom 5, you've got Burnley, who've played 34 games and have 34 points. Leeds have played 34 games and they have 34 points as well. And then you have Everton, who are sat 18th. They played 33 games and have 32 points. So if they win their game in hand, they will move up to 35th and they will be in 16th and out of the relegation zone. Then in 19th place, you've got Watford, who are on 22 points. And come the next set of games in the Premier League. If they don't get a positive result and win, they could be relegated along with Norwich. Norwich were relegated at this weekend. They play 34 games and have 21 points. So that's the Premier League table. So let's get into more in this chats. The summer, yeah, we've seen that. Not long until we play the Lasagna Lads. I don't know who that is. Tottenham, the Lasagna Lads. Remember the? Oh yes, the Lasagna Saga. Yes, I remember it now. And Gracie-Mae doing a stream with her history teacher at 6:30 tonight. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be wild. And Jez says Newcastle away could be a banana skin for Arsenal. They are tough to beat at home now. Yeah, they are, and their fans are just. They are relentless. They really are. They just the way they get behind their team is incredible. It really is, and I completely agree with you, Jez. And I think if we come out of there with a point, we would have done well. A point, I think, realistically, is all we can hope for. I'd like to see us go up there and win, obviously, but I think if we get a point, it would be a good result given how we are at the moment and how they're playing. Ali Ibrahim says, I've just joined. I totally disagree with you regarding no one to want to play for Arteta. It's not what I see on the pitch. He got rid of the selfish bad influences in the team. Okay, well, if that's your opinion, mate, that's fine. I don't agree with it. I think there's a lot of players that aren't performing to the potential. And I think a lot of players aren't putting in, aren't playing as well as they possibly could do because the tactics aren't suiting the players we got in the team. I think that they're not fulfilling their full potential because the tactics are negative and it doesn't allow the players to express themselves. So I have to say I disagree with you, but fair play to you for having your say. Thank you. Now, the predictions game for match day 34. So this was my predictions for the weekend's matches. I said that Liverpool would win 2-0 at Newcastle and they won 1-0. I said that Aston Villa and Norwich would end in a 1-1 draw and Villa won 2-0. I said that Crystal Palace would win 2-1 at Southampton, and that's what happened. I said that Burnley and Watford would draw 1-1 and Burnley won 2-1. I said that the Wolves-Brighton game would end in a 0-0 draw, and it was a 3-0 victory for Brighton. I said that Manchester City would beat Leeds 3-0, and they ended up winning 4-0. I said that Chelsea would win 2-1 at Everton, and they ended up losing 1-0. Tottenham against Leicester, I said, would be a 2-0 win for Tottenham, and they ended up winning 3-1. And then West Ham against Arsenal, I said, would be a 1-1 draw, and Arsenal thankfully won 2-1. And then Manchester United against Brentford, I said that Manchester United would lose 1-0 at home to Brentford, and they ended up winning by 3-0. So there you go. That was my predictions. And the Warren's Team Talk predictions table now shows with a new leader. We've got my mate Mick out in front. He's on 160 points. James Dunlop is now second with 158 points. I'm equal second with him, or he's equal third with me on 158 points. Joanne is on 35 points. Dan Evans is on 25, and Jamie is on 8. So that was the predictions table. Yeah, we've already spoken about him. And yeah, I just want to big up the Gooner Claude Trust. Please, people, go and check out the Gooner Claude Trust. There's a link for the Gooner Claude Trust in the description of this video, and you can find out all about the work they do to give disadvantaged kids the opportunity to go to the Emirates Stadium to watch a match. It's a fantastic charity, so please make sure you go and check it out. And there's information, like I say, in the link that will tell you all about the work that they do. So yeah, it's really, really great charity, and they do really great work with disadvantaged kids. So yeah, that's great. So yeah, that's almost the end of the stream, but I just want to go through these chats. And yeah, and Ali, thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoy your stay with my channel. I hope you enjoy it. And thank you very much for your comment. I really appreciate it. Warren, I started to follow you on Twitter. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't really use Twitter that much, mate. But yeah, thanks for that, fella. Yeah, so anyone who wants to follow me, you can find me on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, and I am on Facebook. I've got presence on Facebook, and there's another one that I've got a presence on. It's not Twitch, although I've set up an account on there, but I don't really use it because I don't really know how to use it. And what's the other one? Let me just have a quick look, and I can tell you. So hold on a sec, guys. I'm just checking, see what it is. Terrible, isn't it? Oh yeah, Reddit. That's it. I've got a presence on Reddit as well. So yeah, if you want to follow me on those things, you're more than welcome to. And Joanne says, what time are you on tonight? I think it's starting at 7 o'clock, Joanne. And that's on Diesel Arsenal's channel. 7 o'clock tonight. I will be on Diesel Arsenal's channel, and I'm going to do a stream on his channel about ghosts. 2 weeks ago, I did a stream about Area 51 and Bob Lazar. And 2 weeks before that, I did about alien structures in Atlantis in Antarctica. So yeah, every 2 weeks I go on his channel and I talk about things to do with the paranormal and the unexplained. So something I feel really passionate about, and I really enjoy chatting to people about. So come and check it out tonight, and we'll have a good natter about ghosts and stuff, because there's a lot to discuss with ghosts and what have you. So yeah, it's a very interesting topic. Craig Malloy says, great show. Looking forward to tonight's stream. Thanks, Craig. I'm looking forward to seeing you on there. And Static says, good show, Warren. Thank you very much. Static, I hope you enjoyed it, mate. And Joanne says, okay, we'll set alarm. Thank you, Joanne. I look forward to seeing you on there. And yeah, if you send me those pictures you've got, then I'll see if I can get them in the stream. But make sure you give me time to get them on there, because otherwise I may not have a chance to get them in. Anyway, so that's the end of the show, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for joining me today to talk about match day 34. So yeah, that was great. And Joanne says, I'm on it like a carp on it. Okay, excellent. And great show, Warren, as always. Thank you, Jez. I really appreciate that. Top man. And anyone who hasn't done it, please go and subscribe to Jez's channel, Arsenal, the History and More. It's a great, great channel. He talks obviously all about Arsenal's history, and he does match reactions and stuff like that. So he's doing one tomorrow night with Kenny Ken and Gracie-Mae. So go and make sure you check that out tomorrow night. That's going to be fantastic. I have to say, I'm really, really looking forward to that one myself. So, yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to end it there. But like I say, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever you're doing. Thanks very much for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you all again really, really soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care and have a great rest of your day.